Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jason with SoundDesignStudio.net. Here back with you again to do another video. But before we get started, make sure you already know what I'm going to say. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below to make sure we can keep bringing you videos. And so we can stay connected with you and you can stay connected with us like I do with all my videos. If you don't know anything about SoundDesignStudio.net, we're a full production company. We're a full production house in Dallas, Texas. We provide sound, lighting, video, audio, and backline everything all over the U.S. So if you need anything, look on to SoundDesignStudio.net. Everything's singular. And check us out. But without further ado, let's get off into the conversation for today. Let me say this. I say this on some of my other videos too. When I do these products, I'm not a Behringer rep or anything like that, so I may explain something wrong sometimes or something like that, but I'm just trying to help out people that may not understand something a certain way or something like that. But with the wing console, it's been a lot of confusion on the channel count situation. They're like, oh, is it supposed to be 96 or 48? Well, it's 96 stereo or either 48. 48 is 48 mono. So the way that it works is you have that amount of faders per se to work with. Is the easiest way to explain it. So let's simplify it, and I'm gonna use my fingers like a. My hands are a little ashy too. Sorry, guys. So let's simplify it, to make it easier to explain. So let's say this was back in the day, and this was an analog console before, we had, the pages where you can flip through. And let's say this was a 2-channel console that came out, but this 2-channel console had 4 inputs. Well, with those 4 inputs, you can use either 2 of those inputs on one of the channels, or you can use just one of those inputs on one of the channels. And basically, at that point, of course, it would make it a stereo channel, and then that fader would control both of those inputs. So that would make it a 4-channel console, not just a 2-channel console. So you could say it's a 2-channel console, or you can say it's a 4-channel console, depending on how you want to word it or how you want to think about it. And technically it just kind of depends on how you map out your inputs, and depends on the band situation and how many stereo channels you actually have. So if you got a crap load of stereo keyboards and overhead channels or a lot of stuff that's going to be, stereo together, at that point, then you can kind of work some things out. But it's one of those deals. After you use that fader, if you use it for just one channel and it's not a stereo channel, that fader is gone. You see what I'm saying? So if you have that 2-channel console and you have 4 channels, and say this is the kick, and this is that one fader used for the kick. Well, at this point, you have those 3 channels left, and you got to decide what you're going to use. Those Now you got to decide what you're going to use for those three deals that's left. What you're going to use on that one channel. So it can be either stereo keyboard, or it can be, snare, or whatever it is. Of course, you would just have to map out those two channels. So, or it can be, hey, we're going to subgroup all of the drums into a little mixer, and then at that point, we're going to send that mixer, stereo over to that one channel. Now you got that one channel of drums. We're going to put all the music into a sub mixer and send that over to that fader. Now you're controlling all the music with those two channels. So that's kind of a simplified way of explaining the 96 and 48. So you can access those 96 channels, but you have that amount of faders. So I don't know if that helped anybody. Inputs. I mean, I said faders, but inputs. So I mean, my wording may not be right, or technical, how they say it or whatever, but hopefully that helped some people in some kind of fashion of understanding what they mean when they say that. Because I know at first I was confused, like, what? I don't get it. Like, is it or is it not? So, but you can get a decent amount of channels out of this console if you work it the right way, or if it's the right show. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later. Log on to sounddesignstudio.net and make sure you hit this subscribe button so we can keep bringing you videos. Peace.